it's me, and today we're gonna use this kit. Jackie, also known as NerdEcrafter here on YouTube. She's my friend and yours. Oh, I don't know who your friends are. I don't even know if we're friends. Are you my friend? Maybe you're not friends with anyone. Are any of us friends anymore? Anyway, Jackie has released a couple kits in the past. All of them so far have been craft kits, but not the typical garbage craft kits that we are used to experiencing. They are nice quality. 3 syllables. Now, while I did enjoy the last Jackie kit that I made a video about, I was also slightly terrified of it. It honestly freaks me out. Joy and terror coexisted. There was a lot going on. There were a lot of things. There were a lot of options. There were a lot of materials that I was completely unfamiliar with. I did end up making something and having fun with a kit. However, this kit is a little different. It's not as intense. It's a little simpler of a concept. It's still a Jackie kit, so there's still gonna be 1,002 pieces and you're still gonna have 400 options to choose from, but the overall project is just a lot simpler. I'm not intimidated. You don't scare me. Look at this gorgeous box, the colors, the vibrancy. I'm very much into it. This is actually an acrylic pour project, which I do have some experience in, which I guess is part of the reason why I'm not as scared of this project, but it's acrylic pour on bears. Poor bears, acrylic pour on poor bears. Not poor bears, but poor bears. Are they poor bears? Are we hurting them? Fun fact, before I received this kit or even knew anything about it, I had purchased this and it has been hanging out in my art room for months. It's one of these bears that's for acrylic pour. I've seen a lot of people do it and I wanted to try it on my channel at some point. But as soon as I realized Jackie was doing a kit with mini bears, I thought, well, I don't care about you anymore. So today I'm gonna break open this kit and see what I can make with it. So first thing, it's the box. Shall we open it? Oh, hey, this is a cute surprise. The instructions right here on the box flaps. The flaps of the box, flaps of the box. And the bear is helping. He's helping. Yeah. Inside, we have this little note.
This is just for me.
Little message from Jackie. Thank you. And there's this bonus sticker pack with all these bear-themed foods. Oh my gosh, so cute. Now the supplies. There's air dry clay, the special divided pour cups. There's silicone. Oh, nice. Silicone mats to catch spillage. Life tip, always catch your spillage. What does that even mean? Some mini canvases and this little swing set. It's actually for what? You'll see later. Okay. Plus this. Actually, genuinely don't know what this is. I'll ask Jackie later. And then of course the paint. It comes in almost every color of the rainbow except for orange. However, you can of course mix colors to create basically any color you can imagine. Plus black, white, and a metallic gold. Next, some tools, brushes, a knife, a sanding tool. Why do I feel like Jackie just has to find a reason to include a knife? And this cute little bear drop cloth. Oh, she thought of everything. A couple more mixing cups and glue, which I didn't really know why that was in here, but we will learn. Finally, the stars of the show. Oh, here are the little bears. They're so cute. And there's so many in here. These are just like the classic pour bear, but mini versions, and they're keychains. So I'm gonna get started. I can't wait any longer. I made my first choice. I chose you. He was the cutest one. Don't you think this was the cutest one? First step, I'm gonna take the sanding tool and sand a small area on top of the bear's head. Now, I learned to do this because Jackie most graciously provides a QR code to some secret video tutorials, hence the blur, for step-by-step how to do this. Basically, you just need to sand down any area that you want to sculpt onto. So I'm sanding the back. Wow. Once that's a little roughed up, I'm gonna whip out the clay and I'm just gonna dig out a little piece and I just form a little ball. You can't really see because my massive fingers are in the way. There we go. See? Now is where the glue comes in. You just use a tiny bit of it and it'll help the clay stick on a little bit better. All the sculpting and clayness is actually an optional part of the process. You don't have to use the clay at all, but I am all for maximum customizational ability. And so, yes, I love it. So I just continued adding these all the way down the back until I had created Pickle Bear. That's right, Pickle is a squishy, a painting, a plush, a mini plush, a chess piece, a blob, and now he's a bear. He's everywhere. everywhere. He's the omni-pickle. Once that dried, I do see some little gaps in there that are bothering me. Ugh. So I just have to fix those. And that's right, I'm using puffy paint. No, puffy paint is not a part of the kit, but I mean, I think everyone can excuse my relentless use of puffy paint. It's almost involuntary at this point. I can't help it. It controls me. Anyway, smoothing that out, and now I'll let this dry completely. But oh wait, problem. Uh-oh. I realized that with my sculpting, I actually covered the little keychain hole thing, which I didn't think was a problem at first, but then I learned that being able to hang this is gonna be a critical part of the process. So to fix this, I shoved one of my own little eye pins in top, and you know, we'll hope for the best. Once that was all dry, I attached the little keychainness.
That's not funny.
And now we get to the very fun part. I am going to create my own custom colors here. One similar to Pickle's body, and the other is similar to his spines. Those are good. I could just eat those. Now pouring those into the official pour cup. I wasn't really sure exactly how much paint to use for this, so I may have gone a little bit overkill. It's a lot. I added white in there and then decided at the last minute to add an even darker green for a little bit more variety. Okay, now we're ready. Ready for the action. Woo, it's about to get messy. Oh, I almost forgot my spillage tray. Uh-oh. Okay, now I'm ready. And I'm just pouring the paint over him. And then, oh no. Oh. You can't really see that well, but my stupid little eye pin just ripped out of the top of his head. Just ripped. But I want to keep going and not disrupt the process too much, so I'm holding him by his ears right now. It's not ideal. Once I was done with the pouring, I just super glued the eye pin back in the top, and bada bing. He's chilling on the swing set. We're all good. We fixed it. Now, since the paint creates little webs in the gaps, you can use this little craft knife and just whoop, 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 separate that paint. I'm pretty sure you could use any thin object to do this, but I think Jackie would just take any excuse to play with sharp pointy things.
Sharp pointy things will continue.
And then I'm just gonna let him dry. And oh, I do think this actually came out looking really cool, especially for my first time. He's so cool. 24 hours later, he is completely dry.
I love him.
So cool, but not finished. Oh no, Pickle Bear, we've got more work to do. I'm gonna paint on the proper spine color for him. I just thought it might look a little bit more like Pickle and a little more good. So I gave him 2 coats of spine paint. Ooh. Then added some little inner ears and a little face. I want to give him some details to make it more interesting and more of a character, but I definitely don't want to cover up too much of that paint marbling, because that's really what this is about, you know. Of course, there's the classic Pickle spots. We have to do that. Wasn't really optional. And okay, Pickle Bear is done. That was really pretty quick, and I kind of love him. The marbling turned out so cool. I did kind of feel like I kind of got lucky. The marbling is just like spot on, right? Am I right? I want to see if I can do another one and get just as good of results. So moving on to Bear 2, I'm sanding and sculpting. Once again, covering up the original keychain attachment loop. Yeah, just made that up. I don't know why, but every customization idea that I had involved covering that thing up. I really wanted to do an ice cream cone on top of the head, like really, really badly. So I'm just gonna go with it. And this time I'll just super glue the eye pin in before it falls into a puddle of its own goop. Once that was all dry, it's time to paint. And again, I'm mixing my own colors. I wanted to create a chocolatey brown, which was a little bit of a process. I kind of used like every single color. I needed not just any chocolate, but an ice cream chocolate. It's very specific in the chocolate family. And then I made a little strawberry pink, a nice French vanilla, Neapolitan vibes clearly. I filled up my pouring cup, and here we go. I was a little bit worried that these colors would get really muddy and that the brown would just completely take over, but then there wasn't enough brown, so I just kind of manually, you know, I'm cheating the system. Is this cheating? I did it, and I was able to achieve a balance that I was a little happier with. So I hung this one up to dry. Ignore the old version of Pickle Bear editing, you know, timelines are crossing and just forget it. Anyway, by adding an ice cream cone on top of the head, I was hoping to create the look that the bear is covered in
Melted ice cream.
which which is like a dream come true. Actually, no. Who am I kidding? Probably smell like spoiled milk. It dried, and it's time to add the details. Using the color Vanilla Cake from the Mariah Elizabeth paint set, I'm painting in the cone, so it's a little more clear what's happening here. It was starting to look like just a giant gooey lump. Then for the face, I wanted something very light, cute, and minimal, so I went with some pink eyes and a little pink nose, and finally, using some puffy paint, it's back again. I added some pink drips all around the bottom of the cone, and there, it's complete. Originally, I was planning on adding some sprinkles into the drippy pink part, but I liked this so much as is, and I feel like keeping this pure color scheme was just so beautiful, so I left it alone. And I'm really happy with this one as well. It's so cute. But I have to do one more. Okay, for this one,
let's get a little crazy.
Let's do something real interesting. I've done two that I really like, so like this one is just a bonus. I thought maybe I could cover the ears and turn this into a bunny. Hated that. That just looks no. So instead, I ended up making a unicorn horn, and that's massive. Whoa, too much. No, step back. I made a much more proportionate unicorn horn. It's still a little wonky, I'll admit, but we can all chill, okay? It's a process. I thought it was definitely missing something, so I dug up these little flower charms and added them around the bottom. Don't really know if I like it yet, but those flowers are stuck on, so it's too late. For this one, I wanted to do kind of a magical theme, and I want to go against my typical bright or pastel tendencies and go with a very dark, dramatic kind of color scheme. I didn't actually use the mini canvases provided. Remember those? The idea with those is that you can, if you want, put them on the tray and then they catch paint and you can create a little mini paint pour artwork, which I love the idea of. However, I really wanted to focus on the bear. She's where it's at for me, and I didn't want to be distracted trying to make two pretty pieces of art at the same time. It's a struggle enough for me doing one, so I'm gonna keep focused here. I know that some paint does get wasted this way, but you know, honestly, I'm comfortable with that. It happens. All right, it's in the line of duty. Also, I kind of wanted to keep the mini canvases because I'd like to actually paint on them at some point. So here she is, not hanging like she should be. Why, do you ask? Is she standing in a puddle of her own leakage instead of hanging with dignity like the others? Well, that whole flower crown thing completely came off camera. I was able to fix it, but she just didn't have full hangability at this point. Sorry, girl. Once the paint had dried on that one, I think this came out pretty well. I mean, the front is gorge. The back
isn't great.
The feet are all patchy, and those flowers look absolutely hideous with the rest of the color scheme, but all of that can be fixed, except for the back. That's just kind of unfortunate. I'm gonna start by gessoing all the little flowers and the unicorn horn. Then once that dried, I went in with the gold paint and painted the entire headpiece in solid gold. She is very rich and magical,
I think.
And then finally adding some little gold facial features, again keeping it simple and minimal. And here she is. I was skeptical about this one, but I'm glad I trusted the process because I actually really like it. I think it's super cute and it's kind of different for me, at least the color scheme is. So here are all the bears that I made using Jackie's new kit. This was honestly just so much fun. I love the idea. There are so many possibilities for these. So thank you, Jackie, for another really fun and well thought out kit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye!